Hey, it's Chanel and welcome to my month of November wrapped. So what a month it's been. I will start with life updates and channel updates. So I have decided not to do the Melbourne Diaries anymore. It was doubling up with my book reading, vlogging, but also I was feeling pressure to bust out my camera when I probably didn't want to bust out my camera. So it just, I'm not really a vlogger. I like to take maybe some video of my food and nice architecture, but in terms of taking it out all the time, as just like, it wasn't for me. I might redo it in the future, who knows, but for now I am going to just stick to tarot walkthroughs and my end of the month wrap-ups. And because I won't be doing the Melbourne Diaries in my end of month wrap-ups going forward, I will try to include a bit more footage from what I've been up to, so you can see bits and pieces. But if you want like daily kind of vlogging, then that's on my reading channel. A little bit, not much. Like I said, I'm not much of a vlogger. I apologize for my voice, but I've been volunteering for swimming with my kids' school every day this week, and their kids' dad hasn't been able to take the kids. So I've had them for a few weeks and I'm just a bit, I'm a bit burnt out as it is, but I'm here. So yeah, November was overall a great month. So I had my birthday, which was really fun. I had my ex-husband's birthday. I did the other day have my house flood. So if you recall, a long time ago, I was having issues with my gutters and eaves, and it was causing water to come into the house. It was raining inside my house. And I got them fixed. You know, I had people come and redo the gutters and the eaves. Unfortunately, yesterday with the big cloud burst, all of the water came in again. So it was pretty brutal. My carpets are still soaking wet and my curtains are not in good condition. I'm a bit worried about mold, obviously, when you have water coming into places it shouldn't be. And we've got another big heavy rain day set for Saturday. So this time I will be prepared with towels and everything to try and mitigate the damage. But yeah, it's a lot. I'm going to have to get people to come out and give me quotes again and trying to figure out what the issue is, what I'm going to have to do, if it includes redoing the roof. I don't know. I love my old house, but my girl is 75 years old. And even though we kind of renovated the inside when we moved in, I'm aware that with old houses, eventually a lot of the structural stuff and the more expensive things need to be replaced or fixed or updated, and it's just, you know, that can be a bit of a money pit, but I'm fingers crossing that it's a simple solution and it's not expensive. But that's been fun to deal with. I did have a bit of a cry yesterday while I was trying to save things, because also my office area where I work, my computers are, that was also flooded. But we're okay, we're all good. We've got shelter, everything's good, everything can be dealt with. It's all good, it's all good. But yeah, we also had a death in the family, which was an unexpected thing, and I'm not going to talk much about it. But yeah, that was also really hard to deal with. So we've had a lot of obstacles and some challenges, but there were also some really lovely things. But I think it's just with life. You're going to have your high notes and your low notes. There's never going to be a month that was just all bells and whistles. You know, I feel like, unless you get really, really lucky. I'm sure it exists perfect months, but yeah, it was what it was, okay? So I'm ready to keep moving forward. I'm not going to dwell in the past. Now, onto the TV shows that I watched this month. So What We Do in the Shadows, I haven't yet finished the series. There's a few episodes left, but because the kids have been home, I haven't been able to watch it. It's a bit of an adult show. I will say that I haven't loved this season. I very much loved last season. I thought it was spectacular. This final season so far has been a bit lackluster. I don't know, it's just lacked something. The Nandor's Army episode was probably my favorite so far. Obviously, I haven't seen the final episode, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. It's still good. It's still What We Do in the Shadows. It just wasn't as good as previous seasons. I also watched a TV series, Jesus Christ, a TV series called My Lady Jane, and it suckered me in with the very British humour narrator. I was cackling. I found it very funny. It's a historical show, obviously, but the narrator's like, fuck Queen Mary. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, it's got a contemporary modern vibe to it, even though it's historical. So I've enjoyed it. It's basically, I think, around the King Henry era, but there's magic involved. So some people have magical powers and some don't. And it's looking at Jane Grey as the main character. And I thought it was really entertaining. I actually quite enjoyed it. Now onto films. So this evening, I'm seeing Moana. I will probably insert a little clip here of my review of Moana after I have seen it. Okay, so quick Maui review. Moana 2 review. It's good. It was very similar to the first. They very much played it safe. They didn't really do anything new. I did like the new goddess that was in there, the bat goddess. She seems cool, but she's one of those like trickster kind of people. You don't know if she's good or bad, but she's leaning towards good. Yeah, I liked it. There was a nice appearance at the end of an old beloved character of mine, so I was very happy about that. But otherwise, yeah, it's a fine movie. The songs didn't hit as good as last time, but I don't like singing in movies, so that's just me. Maybe everyone else loves it, but yeah, it was a fun time. So that is on the agenda. We loved the first Moana. Fantastic, very humorous. I personally love Jermaine's character in there and his songs. He was my favorite. But yeah, we're all looking forward to it. I also watched this one, I forgot the name, it starts with an S, and it was on Netflix. It was good, but it was definitely a musical. And the kids and I are not really into musicals. This one had way too many musical numbers, just too many. But the other bits in it were interesting and kind of funny. It's, you know, about a girl whose parents are cursed to turn into monsters, and she's trying to save them. So she heads into the dark forest to find a cure, basically. But it looks a lot at divorce and how it affects the children whose parents are going through divorce and managing emotions like anger. So it was fine, but too many musical numbers for moi. Now we go on to books. So I read a total of 63 books from cover to cover this month, and I DNF'd 11. So it's 74 books, but I'm not counting the total anymore. I'm just counting what I read, 63, and I DNF'd 11. Out of those books, my favorite cover was Vivian, and I actually own this, but I've got a cat on my lap right now, so I don't want to get up and get it. And I think it's stunning. It's a beautiful rose petal finish. I just love pink and yellow, or pink and red. Like or pink and green. Pink and like particular colors gets me. So this pink and yellow one with the little kid and the dinosaurs, gorgeous, gorgeous. The book itself, I did give a 4.5 stars. So I also really enjoyed it. It's a bit experimental. It's mixed media format, and it's about multi-generation. It's about 3 generations of women and their artists and cancel culture in the artistic world. I enjoyed it. My favorite book, though, of the month in fiction was The Wild Huntress by Emily Lloyd Jones. So if you like anything about the Wild Hunt and Welsh mythology, you'll enjoy this. Even though it's YA, it can still be enjoyed by an adult, but because it's YA, it is, I would say lighter or easier to read, but they do sometimes tend to be lighter and easier to read than adult fantasy novels. There is very little spice in this. It's a PG. They share a kiss for a little bit, that's all. But I liked it. It's got like trickster, fae, which is that's my jam, and I do love the Wild Hunt in general, so I thought it was a great read, and I've bought myself a special edition of it when it comes. I think it's coming next year in March, so it's a long wait. My favorite, so I'm just so uncomfortable, but I can't move. My favorite non-fic read of this month was the book Maximalism. I adored it. I love interior design. Like I said previously, when I was a property developer, I also interior designed the homes I was building, and I enjoy it. So even though, like, don't look at my house, okay? My house is not my style. I have not interior designed it. Almost all of everything I bought when I was 21 and moved into my home. So as you can imagine, there was a budget, and I had no taste at 21. I'm sorry, but I didn't. I had no sense of who I was and sense of style. So one day, it's in my hopes and dreams that I can design my own home. But yeah, even though when it comes to living spaces, I do prefer what you would probably call Japandi, which is sort of like a minimalist Scandinavian, Japanese, Zen kind of style. I like very calming, relaxing environment, so I'm not stimulated. But I also have an obsession with the whimsical, with the extravagant, with the maximalist, and it just feels really magical and exciting. So I love going to restaurants and hotels that have a very maximalist style, and I think in my forever home too, there would be some rooms that I know I don't spend a lot of time in. So for example, not the lounge room. I could do them in a maximalist style, because it'd be like the laundry, for instance. I would love to go into a weird and wacky laundry. So I love this book. I thought it was really well done. Going on to music, I did find some new songs. So I enjoyed Desert by Fox Gun. And I also enjoyed Gasoline by Kendra. So I'm just really into like, what do you call like alternative women dancey bops, I guess, at the moment. Now onto the purchases, so things I purchased this month. So I obviously didn't purchase but was gifted the Cocoa Black Advent Calendar. I did enjoy it. I thought it was delicious. It's got a beautiful level of quality to it. There are 6 alcoholic chocolates in there though, which is, I think, is a bit much. 6 out of 24, and I don't drink alcohol, and I'm sure there are people who don't drink alcohol. I feel like that was a lot. And it was also 6 doubles, so 6 chocolates were repeated. So I asked my sister, like, oh hey, like what was the decision around this? She was surprised by the alcohol one. She's like, I don't know why they did so many of those. But the double ups, she said, is because certain chocolates don't have a long shelf life. So they could only put ones in the advent calendar that could be kept on shelves for a very long time. And I'm like, oh, got you, I understand. But otherwise I was very happy with it. And I thought, oh my God, the little Christmas rhymes was so cute. It's just that bit extra fun. I have ordered an advent calendar for December. I'm picking it up tomorrow, but I will insert footage here of it. It's by Gelato Messina, which is a gelato maker, but they've come out with a chocolate calendar. So I thought, why not give it a little look and see what it's like. So you'll get my full review of it in the December wrap up. For my daughter Valentine, I just got her this lint teddy one, but there are a few different types of chocolates on there, which I appreciate. So you've got like teddies, some with filling, some plain, hazelnut, milk, white, chocolate hearts. Like it's a few different types of chocolates in there. So that's just for her. Indy had an advent calendar this month, which I will put pictures up here. I got it off Amazon. It was a slime calendar and it was very well done. She was so happy with it, because you never know with stuff from Amazon, but it was exactly what we were hoping it would be. So that you got all the different little tubs and all the different little mix-ins, and she was thrilled. And I think it was really well done, and it's definitely something I would recommend if your kid likes slime. This was a good one. She's got another advent calendar that's just arrived. This one is a make your own jewelry, like adding beads to a bracelet, I think. So I'll put pictures up here. We'll give you our review of that in the December wrap up, but that was purchased this month. Oh, for books, I forgot to mention. So I did read The Cardless Tarot, Choose Your Own Adventure, Destiny Tarot Readings by Kerry Ward. So I thought I'd let you know what I thought of this book. So first off, the illustrations in this are absolutely stunning. I'm just gonna, it's on black paper, but they do big illustrations for the major arcana. So the way this works is you have guides. So they've chosen some major arcana people as your guide. And so it talks about them. And on the page, there is a question that goes with that guide. And then what you do is you look at the photo. So I'll show you one, for instance. What one did I do recently? So I'll show you the Empress. So look at this picture of the Empress, and whatever your eye is drawn to first in the image, that's the page that you go to. So for instance, the question for the Empress is meet your next lover. How will I meet my next love? So for me, I'm not going to tell you what oh no, I have to. I saw the heart brooch. So it says, okay, go to page 82. So here we go. So I've gone to page 82. The cards that are pulled for this are the Emperor, the King of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. So for instance, for me, it says that the person for me is the Emperor. So for me also, that probably signifies it most likely will be a man. They said probably in Aries, strong, powerful, dominant, ambitious, go-getting, successful, driven, makes an impact where they go, confident, in control, building an empire. You might have to fight to make sure the power dynamics between you are balanced, but it's okay. This person will make a huge difference in your life. So they're signified by the Emperor. So then it says, I will meet them through the King of Wands. So it could be the months of April, August, and December. It could be a fire sign friend that introduces us, like an Aries, Leo, or Sag. The theme of adventure, like the setting where I meet them, is strong. So maybe some event, some sort of trip, somewhere that is thrilling and challenging, like sports, a theme park, a gym. And they said I'll already be excited to be where I am, whatever event I am, when I meet this person. And then the last thing is one step I can make today to get closer to this new love. And it was the Ten of Wands. And this says, stop looking. Seriously, relax, Just please yourself, do the things that you enjoy, be around people you love, and they will find you. So as you know, I have been single for about 2 years and I've been on dating apps. So when I read like, stop looking, I was like, okay, I'll take it into practice. I do go often on the apps. Obviously I take sabbaticals from there. But yeah, that's an example. So you pick whatever is catching your eye. So there are different questions for each of the guides, and then you go to that page. So you don't need a tarot to do this one. I thought it was a bit of fun. It's obviously not something I would use again and again, but definitely I went through each guide and the question and picked what it went to. And I thought the way that they described the meanings of the cards in regards to the question that was asked was well done. So this was like a little bit of fun. So if it's interests you, I recommend. I also got, where is he? Oh, here he is. This is Jerry the Gingerbread Man. I named him after Jerry from Parks and Recs. And if you know that his name is Gary. and everyone just doesn't call him Gary, they call him Jerry. This is Jerry the Gingerbread Man, and he's going to go in the window eventually. He sings. I'm not going to turn him on because, oh, actually I probably could be able to stop it. Let's see. I'll stop him just in case. That is copyrighted, but yeah, he does a little song and dance, but Gingerbread Man. Gingerbread Man Jerry, the only man in my bed currently. Besides that, I also thrifted a bunch of clothes. Oh, Sylvie, I'm gonna have to kick you off now. I'm really sorry. So I'll show you, this dress is one of the things that I thrifted this month, but I will show you what I grabbed. Sorry. Okay, so this is this dress, and it's got a low back and like bras on the back, but I'll go and show you the other clothes that I got. So I also got this dress. So I'll come close so you can see it's a shimmery metallic brown, and it's super long, and it's just, you know, it's just a very obviously tight ribbed collared brown dress. I also got this green like satin built-in bra mini. So it's really small. I'm not sure about this one though. I'm a bit uncertain. So we'll see what it's like on. I haven't really tried it on since I got it, but it was super cheap, and that's why I got it. It's by Guizio. I don't know who that is, but it's this one. I also got this little bustier, so I'll come close. You can see it's like pink and black houndstooth, and it's just so bloody my style. This is by Fleur de Mal. It's a Fleur de Mal crop. I also got this little number. So this is like a mustardy brown situation, or a caramel brown. So this is another bustier, and this is by Jonathan Simkai. So I got this in 2 colors. So I got this in this. A lot of these clothes you've already seen me in because, like I said, I wear them immediately, and it came in the pink one too, which you would have seen previously this month. So I also got this little, another bustier. So this one's got like a lot of laces, and it laces up in the back, and it's got a lot of mesh. And this is by Alexander McQueen. So I could not pass it up. I'm like, I kind of want to own some McQueen, but yeah, hopefully I'll be wearing this one this month as well. It's almost got like it's velvet. It's velvet. I also got this dress, this little skirt. So this is just a tartan skirt by Reformation, which I got, I've already worn. And I think that's everything. I'm pretty sure. If it's not, I'll take a photo and put it up. But now I will send you to the deck and crochet portion. Howdy folks, so let's look at the deck portion of this video. So all the bags I made and all the decks that I got in this month. So I'll start with Baggy Boo. So we've got this bag here, which is in Life in the Long Grass. I did it in Trinity Stitch. The color for this one is Autumn Leaf. I also combined it with a red thread. So the browns are the Life in the Long Grass. The red thread, I don't even know what it was. It's just a giant ball of red yarn I had. But so I combined 2 yarns for this. And to be honest, I really love doubling up the DK. It makes it so cushy. So I think I might, going forward, try to double up my bags, like have them be 16 ply, because it just makes them real solid and real beautiful, just lush. So I might be doing that going forward. But this is the bag, and it is for the Echoes Through Time deck by Lynn Thurman. So I just went with like I said, browns, greys, and reds. So this is a little pamphlet that comes with it. It's got a QR code so that you can actually access the guidebook. I just don't use it. I don't use PDFs because I just don't want to get my phone out. So I didn't bother with viewing this either because it just has one keyword anyway, and I already know what the tarot means. So I didn't bother with the guidebook. These are the backs. This is a Kickstarter deck. I do like the backs. I think they're nice. My deck did come bowed. It's got a beautiful matte gold edging, which is lovely. So I don't love the cardstock because it's one of those clumpy ones. And I know Honey Lou is like the queen when it comes to soaping decks to make them not clump. I'm just too scared, guys. I am not good at modifications. Like I can maybe do a texture on the edge, but I will always F it up every single time. And I'm too scared of ruining my deck by doing it. Like maybe one day when I don't care if the deck lives or dies, then I might give the soaping a go because it does make this a bit of an unenjoyable shuffling experience when they all clump together. So like it's quality cardstock, it's just not a good shuffle cardstock. So my favorite card in this one is the Empress. I think it's so pretty. I love the coloring. So she's in a flower shop, which I think is apt for the Empress. And I love the image of it. So you've got like very classical art kind of figures in modern settings, but it's done in a way it feels quite homogenous. There is definitely humor in this deck. So normally the Five of Pentacles isn't a card that would make me lol, but these chicks being cast out of the bar, totally drunk, nowhere to go, it makes me laugh. So it sometimes taps into a bit of a different energy or vibe than you would usually associate with a lot of the cards. Like some are very standard and typical, and all of the aces are in doorways, which I think is really cute. I don't mind this kind of trend to make the aces very different in sort of style to the rest of the cards. I actually do like it. And like aces as doorways, like portals, makes sense to me. So yeah, I do like it's a dark deck. I will say that, like color wise, it is quite dark, but I don't mind that. Like this is funny to me. Hurry now, pay later. Buy now, pay later. One sole payment. Join vices. Like it's kind of funny, but not funny, but also kind of funny. So yeah, I've enjoyed my time with it. Like I said, I just wish the shuffling experience was better, so it was a better sensory kind of thing. But otherwise, yeah, I really like it a lot. I do love the juxtaposition of modern and vintage together, classical and new. I like the style of the deck. I like the personality of it. It came fairly soon after backing, I think within 5 months, which is good for Kickstarter. So I was impressed with that. And yeah, I enjoy it. Like I said, the guidebook is good. It's just, I just don't want to access it. So that's the only other thing too. Like with Kickstarter decks, I would prefer if they actually did come with printed books instead of just PDF. Because yeah, I feel like with Kickstarter, like you want the premium, you know, you want all the bells and all the whistles. But otherwise, very happy with it. Like I always do now, I only use the decks on their own for the first month, so I can really get a feel for their individual personality and how they read and whether I like it, whether we're vibing. But yeah, I'll definitely be keeping this deck in my collection. So this was the Echoes Through Time Tarot by Lynn Thurman. Oh my god, like this Hanged Man, it makes me laugh. I like it very much. But let's look on to the next deck. Okay, so let's take a look at the next bag. So this bag is in Moss Stitch, which I'm probably not going to do anymore because I just find Moss Stitch doesn't sit as nice for me as other stitches do. It's also called Linen Stitch. So this is in a few different yarns. Once again, I have combined them. So we've got La Bien Amy in Arcady, which is a merino sock that my beautiful friend Kate bought me. Also a Jamieson and Smith 2-ply wool in black, which my best friend Kate bought me. And then I added the very sort of that green one. I added that one in, and that is Hedgehog Fibers in the color Sage, and that's a merino DK. So once again, this is a very like cushy, thick bag, and I do prefer that over the thinner ones. And the deck that it's for is Beetlejuice Tarot Deck and Guide. Okay, I'm gonna say something. I pre-ordered this on Amazon and just never again. Pre-orders with Amazon, you just get, like, they really screw you over, because once the deck is actually released, they don't fulfill the pre-orders first. They don't. It's like they do them last. They let other people just buy and receive it before they get around to doing the pre-orders. So, like, yeah, you save a couple of bucks, but for me, I wanted it fast, which is why I pre-ordered. I wanted it as quick as possible, and that was not the case. So I am never again doing pre-orders on Amazon. I hate it. I hate it very much. This is the guidebook. I do not like this accordion style. Like, this absolutely shits me. So I wish they hadn't done that. So I do hate the way they formatted the guidebook. The write-ups themselves, though, top notch. Okay, I love it. So you've got the picture, you got the title, you got a little sentence, which is very tied into Beetlejuice. This is very Beetlejuice themed, which I think is fantastic. I absolutely loved and adored that. I'm just trying to show you some spreads now. Like, this is totally going to get beat up, like, but I still want to read what they've written. So there's a Beetlejuice, it's Showtime, a Draw a Door. So it's a great guidebook. It's just this style, no. And like I said, it's going to get ruined. You can already see, like, mine's getting a bit beat up. It's just paper, so it's going to fall apart eventually. So that's a bummer. So here are the backs of the decks, which I think are really cool. I think they're cute. I've edged mine in a color to suit the bag, so black and green. Had to do the stripy effect. The cardstock is once again a satin, so yeah, anything that's a satin, they will clump. This is more shuffleable than the previous deck, but it's still clumpy. And like I said, I know Honey Lou has found a solution for that, but yeah, I'm just not confident enough to try it yet. This is my favorite card in this deck. It's the happy ever after. I hear the song Shake, 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 Señora in my head when I see this card, which is a song that my Yaya used to love. And so it reminds me of her, and it reminds me of my childhood when I used to go to her house. I used to watch this movie there, and it just makes me happy. It brings me back. So that's my favorite card in the deck. I think this was really well done. So I have steered away from all of the other fan decks. As I was saying, I've stayed away from Insight Edition because I saw how all the other fan decks were done, like the Buffy, for instance. It's so pippish. I can't stand the pips. I don't like it. So it made me sad when there were really cool fandom decks that were being done, but by the way they were being done, I didn't want them. I'm not a pip person. It's just not for me. So when I saw that this was fully illustrated, I was like, yes. I am a very, very happy girl, because Beetlejuice is one of my favorite all-time movies. And I think they've done this really bloody well. Like, the illustration style suits, the coloring suits, the images shown for the pictures suit. So I am chuffed. Like I said, the only thing that would have made this deck better is a more shuffleable cardstock and a bound guidebook rather than the accordion fold out. That would have been fantastic. But otherwise, I'm very, very pleased with this deck. And I found it reads well, and I've had just a huge amount of fun. Like, especially like the way the guidebook's written, it just makes me feel like I'm in the movie. I'm living in the movie. And yeah, the fact, I wish it could have tied in with the movie release. It came out much, 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 much later. So that's also something I think they could have maybe timed a bit better to have it come out at the same time as the movie. But otherwise, I think they nailed the head. They nailed it on the head with this one. So I'm really happy with it, and I have enjoyed my time with it. And I think it's great for spooky season. So if you want that Halloween-y type of deck, this would also suit that really well. But yeah, I like it. Like I said, I think the borders suit as well. And I've got, just only really positive things to say about it. So yeah, those were the two decks that I got in this month. So obviously both pre-orders. I didn't purchase anything this month. Oh wait, no, I didn't. That's a lie. I did back something. So I'll put pictures up here. I backed the Field of Stars Oracle because it is by the same creator as the Earthchild Tarot, which I have, and I've just never found a pairing I really, really love for that. And so when I saw this, I'm like, okay, I can find its pairing, and that's just something I really like to have in my collection. I want each deck to have like a buddy that goes perfectly with it. And so when I saw that, I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to. But otherwise, I am trying really not to back anything because I am going to buy myself a deck for Christmas. And there's one that I've got my eye on. So I didn't want to purchase anything else. But yeah, this was a bit of a, oh, I can't pass up this opportunity sort of situation, because yeah, I'm trying not to go too much over what I've already bought. So I think, including the deck I haven't purchased yet for Christmas, it'll bring my total to 23 decks purchased this year. But yeah, with Kickstarter in general, I'm just staying off it because it's too tempting, and I'm finding anyway that a lot of the Kickstarters, they end up having surplus stock afterwards. So you can normally almost always buy the deck after the Kickstarter campaign. Like they'll launch it on either a website or on Etsy. And that way too, you get to see somebody else go through it first. So you have more informed opinion. Like if, for instance, that Grounded Wisdom Tarot really gave me trust issues, all right? So I felt so burnt by that one. I've never thrown a deck away before until now. So yeah, that is a shame. But I have found by bringing in less new decks, I am actually using my old ones more as well, which is good. Like I don't want to be only using new decks. So because I've had fewer into, there's less overwhelm, and therefore I've actually wanted to pull cards more. I think when I've got too many new decks coming in, I get stressed out because I'm like, I need to work with them all so I can like form a review and I can know if I want to keep them or not. So if you get like, for me, I would say 6 decks in a month, it's too much. I can't handle it, you know, and I don't feel like I'm putting in quality time with each deck and getting a real feel for it. And then I just feel like I'm always behind the 8 ball. If, you know, then the next month I've got another 6 decks coming, another 6 decks. So I'm very happy to slow down. I think for me, yeah, my sweet spot would be 1 to 2 new decks per month max. And that way it gives me more time to enjoy the cards that I have and to go at my own pace and not to feel rushed or that I have a deadline looming. So yeah, these were the 2 bags, which I'm very happy with, both of them. Like thanks to Kate for buying me 2 yarns. Otherwise I wouldn't have had a really Beetlejuice themed bag, and I really wanted to do the deck justice. I know I've been trying to not buy any yarn to use the stash I have, and I've done well with that so far. But yeah, for Beetlejuice I did want something. So Kate's like, hey babes, it's your birthday, I got you, boo, and now I've got the perfect themed bag for it. But now that brings us to the end of this video. Until next time, stay well, Star Child.